you doing, guys? Thanks a lot for taking a look at this and trying to help me out with the install on this. First off, I just thought I'd send you a video, maybe a little bit easier for me to explain it rather than typing everything out and having to follow along with pictures. So I tried to install this twice. The first time I started in the front and worked my way back, and then this time as it sits, I started in the back, worked my way up to the front. So first time I started off putting these clips in here. They're not clips, but the little hooks for the sun visors. There's two holes here, one to shove the little retaining piece in, and then another one for the screw. And then I worked over here to the sun visors where there's a little plastic clip in here, and then the two holes for the screws. And I think this is the driver's side, and it just kind of fits up in there. That worked out okay. It was a little challenge, but not too bad. I worked my way to the back, and then once I got to the back, the way that it fastens in is there's a tab that sticks down on the ABS board, and there's a hole in it, and you put a plastic push pin through to a hole in the quarter of the car, the little bracket that sticks down. There's a hole that goes through there and it fastens. So when I did that, I had about an inch of room where it wouldn't line up. So the ABS board, that hole was about an inch further back than the hole in the car. I tried my best to kind of push it forward and get them in there, and then quickly put the panel back in. But what I found was when I did that, the holes for that, so you put the panel back in, didn't line up, and it left a sizable gap here on either side. This fits. I did find that I had a little problem even putting it in the second time back here. You can see it sticking out a little bit, but to me this is completely acceptable. It looks okay. It looks really good on the other side. It looks like the way that it did new. So that was an issue. I threw the towel in, pulled everything apart, and started again. This time I started from back here, put the push pins in, put the panel back together here, both sides, and then work my way up to the front. I left this off because what I was going to try to do was, I thought maybe you had to push this together, and I didn't want the double-sided tape Velcro strips here to inhibit that if they're already stuck to the roof line. So I kind of left that, and I was going to try to fit my hand in there and peel everything off and then stick it up at the end. That ended up not working, so I peeled this stuff off and stuck it up there. So came up to the front, actually put the sides in, didn't have any trouble. They're off now, just because this is just how it left. But Ford uses this like weather stripping almost to kind of lift this in here and fit it around. That was fine. It was a little, whatever side you do second, you kind of have to force it in a little bit. It was a little tough, but I got it in, and you know, it worked. But when I came up to the front here, I had the same problem I had in the back, and again, almost like the panel from front to back is like an inch too long, because the holes for this are somewhere back in this area, again about an inch back. If I was going to drill, I thought about doing this, but I decided against it. Good thing I did that, because if I went to drill through here, the front of this would be exposed and you would see it. Also, it wouldn't solve the problem I'm having here where this is not fitting flush with the contours of the roof. I think there might be like I don't know if there's a pinch weld up here or what, but again, if this was pushed back like an inch more, it would sit perfectly with the contours of the roof. Same thing with this back here. I might be able to push this push this in here, but I'm nowhere near the holes to try to get this thing in here. This area I might be able to make work, but these areas here on both sides I won't be able to make work. And again, that wouldn't solve the problem with the opening here in the front. So that's kind of where I'm at now. Just a couple notes here. One is that this car again is a 2003, and in the later years of this style of car, this netting compartment thing here was storage area was put in. So the double-sided Velcro came right through here. So what I had to do was I cut it here, and then moved just that strip, so the rest of it is still on both sides. Moved it back here where there was a little gap and where the strips were laid, so that I could you know, drill the holes out for this and then install it. You know, I measured it all. It's in the correct area, and looks good. So that's where I'm at here. Another note, I bought another one of these headliners for my 91 notchback, and I did know that one's not installed yet. So I did, when I was looking through the box to get the part number here, I did notice that one does have a sticker on the other side of it with a part number and all that. So if needed, I will take this apart and you know, get you that number, because again, it wasn't visible on the box. It was kind of worn off, or some of it was. But again, this area here seems to fit fine. It's just almost as though it was like an inch too long from front to back. You could see a little bit of the headliner sticking down there, sagging. That's fine, not a problem. It's just that the reason why it's like that is because when I trimmed it to fit, some of these areas didn't have glue, so I could glue that with whatever you recommend, and it will sit up there flush, and it'll look totally fine. But that's about where I'm at now, and again, any help you guys could give me here would be greatly appreciated. Again, I thank you for your time.